So, hello everybody, my name is Maria, I'm 23 years old. I've been to lots of conferences today, and today I'm here with my mum, dad and my boyfriend Harry. When I was little, I was clumsy and fell over a lot. I also had a lot of eye problems, but the doctors weren't really sure what was going on. Then when I was 13, my vision suddenly got worse. My mum and dad took me to Moorfields Eye Hospital and things became scary quickly. The doctors there thought I had a brain tumour. At the time, this was very scary. The next morning, I was quickly taken for a CT scan, and a few days later, an MRI scan, which thankfully showed I didn't have a tumour. Over the next few months and year, I was seen by lots of doctors, but no one could quite get to the bottom of things. Finally, I was referred to genetics, and that was the first time we'd heard about BBS, and had a clinical diagnosis at age 14. Around the same time, our family moved from London to West Sussex. I spent a couple of years at school, but left with very few GCSEs. When I left school, me and my family decided that it would be best to go to a college that specialised in teaching people with a visual impairment. The best college for me was the West Foundation, the Specialist Centre for Visual Impairment, which is based in Exeter, Devon. Unfortunately, West Sussex County Council didn't want to pay for me to go there to continue my education, so I ended up spending about 18 months out of education while we had a tribunal and a court case, which thankfully we won. During this time, I got bored and got jealous of all my friends who were starting college. This affected my self-esteem. Eventually, in April 2010, I left home to move to West Foundation, about 160 miles from home, to start a new life in residential college. I was nervous and got homesick at first, but realised it was a good opportunity for me. They taught me living skills which I couldn't have learnt at home, such as food shopping, washing, cooking, mobility and budgeting. In September 2010, I did an equine course, which I completed in 2014 with a distinction. After I finished being a student, I moved to a transition house and became more independent and having a lot less support. I then tried to get an equestrian job, but due to the remote locations, it was a struggle. I managed to get a working student placement at a yard, but due to the location, it didn't quite work out. So then, to keep myself occupied, I volunteered at the West Foundation charity shops 3 days a week. It really helped my confidence grow as I was out on the till with the public and had a lot of responsibility. Then West Foundation opened a new charity shop and a position came up for the assistant manager. I applied just thinking it would be good interview practice. I was really surprised and pleased when I got offered the job. All I ever wanted was a job to earn my own money and support myself. I now work 2 to 3 days a week. I go to work independently on the train. I enjoy my job as every day is so different. I'm in charge of the volunteers and I'm confident dealing with customers and running the shop floor, and often I work on my own. Although I live in supported living, I get very little support and have an independent lifestyle, including going to Zumba twice a week and going to the gym most days, and also horse riding, but I won't tell you about all my horse riding injuries, otherwise we'll be here all day. Myself and Harry enjoy going socialising with our friends in our spare time. During the past few years, I've struggled massively with my mental health, having anxiety and depression. I have counselling every week to maintain this. I also suffer with panic attacks, especially when I go to hospital appointments. At the moment, my health is fairly good. My vision is stable, even though I don't have much left. Then, a major development was found a few weeks ago when Phil's team finally, after 10 years of testing, found my BBS gene. I have BBS 14, which there are only other 2 people in the world with BBS 14. I just want to say thank you to the NHS team in London that helped me look after my health and make me feel at ease, and obviously thank you to my mum and dad that take me to all my appointments and make me feel at ease as well. That's it. Questions? You can do questions.
We've got some time for questions now from Maria. Does anybody have a question they want to ask? Yeah. Oh, no. Can I start?
Yeah, you can ask a question.
What do you think? With your experience, what is the best advice you could give to someone else who was maybe in the same situation of being diagnosed in their mid-teens?
Well, when I was 14 and being diagnosed, or that I've just been diagnosed a few weeks ago.
When you were 14?
When I was 14, at the time, for me, being 14, I didn't really understand at first what it all meant. And because at the time I'd been through quite a lot of tests and seen quite a lot of doctors because no one really understood what was going on, for me at the time, I didn't really understand. And it kind of, my parents kind of sat down and explained it, and I kind of got the hang of it. But at the time when I was 14 and through my teenage years, I always wanted to know what gene it was, and I always kept asking my mum and dad. But when I found out a few weeks ago, obviously, yeah, it was a shock, but I definitely think my family had more questions than I did, because even though I had the clinical diagnosis when I was 14, as soon as I got the BBS gene, yeah, it was good to know what gene it was. But personally, for me and my health, it didn't change anything for me. It was just, you have this gene. And because I've lived with kind of the symptoms or the clinical diagnosis since age 14, that was kind of, well, we know that I have it already. It's not like a new diagnosis. It's now just finding out which gene it was. That's about it.
Yep. Another question? I think Steve was probably first there.
Yeah.
Predictable question. Why do you say that you exercise regularly?
Yeah.
Tell us why you exercise regularly.
I really like exercising. I just really like sport. I absolutely love my Zumba. If I miss my Zumba, I get really grumpy. I really don't like it. Even if I have an injury and I miss my Zumba, I really don't like that. I absolutely love my Zumba. It's an hour, it's hard work. I'm often come out and I'm red-faced and all sweaty, not a pretty sight. But I love it, and it's the loud music and it's dance routines. And also when I first went, because it's a group of people that are all able, so I thought I'm not going to be able to do it with the vision impairment, but I can do it. I'm just as good as everyone else. When I first went in, as everyone does, they stand at the back. I now stand in front, right in front of the teacher. And he changes his routine all the time. You could learn a routine, and he'll add a new bit in it each week. But he's very good visually. A lot of times, if we change round to a certain side or change ways, he'll clap instead, so it's not visual. He does different ways, and he actually himself has never taught anyone that's visually impaired before, so for him it was a learning curve as well. So it was both ends of a learning curve. And the gym, I just enjoy the gym generally. It just puts me in a bit of a good mood. I went to the gym yesterday, I'm going again today, the gym here. So yeah, I just enjoy exercise. It makes me happy. Yes.
Shall we take one more question?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is another question. Yeah, this gentleman there.
Very, very nice articulated perspective, Maria.
Thank you.
Very nice inspiration. Quick question. What were some of the challenges that you faced when you were living independently?
Definitely, so when you're at home and you don't know how to do something, you kind of turn to your mum and dad. Mum and dad weren't there. They're 160 miles away. And yeah, they're at the end of a phone, but you've either got to find someone to help you, like a member of staff, or try and figure out something yourself. So it made me grow up a lot quicker. I went there at 16, I'm now 23, and it made me realise that, they've taught me this. I'm going to grow up and be a bit sensible and mature a little bit. So yeah, it definitely made me grow up and mature a lot more. That's it.
Any more questions? Yeah, I see one at the very back there.
I can't hear, sorry.
I think you were saying as you've got older, have you been able to control your reactions more? Do you mean mood-wise or?
Kind of. I mean, emotions as a teenager, as we all know, without BBS and without a disability, are very hard to control. But with BBS, I don't know. I feel that my emotions I've maybe matured. As maybe as a teenager, I'd probably get upset or angry at the slightest little thing. And now I'm a bit more, obviously with my whole mental health stuff, that can be a bit hard at times because my anxiety kicks in a lot. But generally, I feel like since I've kind of grown up, I found more ways to control my mental health and manage it in my own ways. You're welcome.
Any more questions for Maria?
If not, I'm around all day. Come and see me. I don't
Great.
mind.
Thank you very much, Maria.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.